watching Comic-Con live on IGN. Interview with the Vampire returned this year for a shocking season 2. And here to talk to us about it are Assad Zaman, Delainey Hayles, Sam Reid, and executive producers Rolin Jones and Mark Johnson. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me here today, and I'm a little nervous. I watched the show, I really like it. But let's sink our teeth into some questions. This season ended, actually, with Daniel Malloy himself becoming a vampire, sired by Armand. So, Assad, what are Armand's plans for him?
Do we know it was Armand? Are we sure? We never saw it, right?
Did he watch the show?
There might have been another vampire there.
It's Armand. Armand made him. Get on it.
Armand was not very happy with the events that unfolded at the end of season 2. So there was some acting on impulse, which I think Armand rarely does. And it's going to be really exciting to see more of that acting on impulse going into the next season, I think.
So a less meticulous kind of putting things together.
More chaotic, I think.
Oh,
chaotic is what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Delainey, will we see Claudia haunt Louis in the same way that Lestat did?
I have no idea. She is dead, so that's where we left off. I hope so, though.
In his memories, at least.
Mm.
In the series, we always see Lestat in someone else's story, except for the very last scene of season 2. Sam, how do you feel about how Lestat has gotten portrayed so far, and do you think he's getting a less flattering look from Louis and Armand?
How do I feel? I think if you watch the show and you don't know that Lestat loves Louis, then I feel like we did a bad job. And if that's the way that Louis remembers it and you have taken that away from it, then I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. I don't think it's really fun to totally take everything away from Louis' agency. Armand, though, I feel like Armand's version. I think it's lovely. I actually loved playing Armand's version of Lestat. I don't know if all of it is accurate, but it was a wild ride.
Armand made you look amazing. You look amazing.
Yeah, I definitely love the ponytail that he gave him. That was like especially nice. So yeah.
So is that your preferred of the two tellings?
I have no preference really. I enjoyed it all. It's so much fun to do. It's a really fun task that we're given as actors to kind of get to explore points of view. But also at the end of the day, you can't overthink it. We do always put it in, and we are talking about it. But I'm sure Louis and Armand got lots of things right. And I'm sure if Lestat tells his version of the story, I'm sure he will eventually make some shit up as well.
Well, I mean, I feel like I see Lestat's version of a story right here, which is...
Is he telling the truth? I don't know.
If we're following Anne Rice's books, that should
Always
be
follow
next.
Anne. Always follow Anne first. Anne first.
All right. So we're going to stick pretty closely to this book you're holding?
There's so much
that you
in
happen
here.
to bring?
There's so much stuff in here. Just jackhammer this and there's stuff in between. It's great. Yeah, look how long this is. My God.
Season 3 is
Notes,
going to be good.
notes. Yeah.
17 episodes.
I wish. I dream. Sam, how are you going to make the transition from Lestat's love of classical music into rock and roll?
How am I gonna make the transition? I don't know yet. Yeah, still working that out. I mean, I think music is fundamentally the same thing. Like Mozart was a rock star. I think you kind of you can pick and choose. And who's to say that Lestat doesn't maintain a sort of love of many genres?
Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
They're using the same notes. It's the same notes for crying out loud.
Exactly. The music is the same. Yeah. It's the feeling that you put into it. I'm just making stuff up.
Delainey, you joined this full cast for season 2. What was the moment for you that it really all clicked for you?
I think my first day when I got my lenses put in and my fangs, And I was like with Jacob, and Jacob gave me a little speech like, just go do it. And I was like, okay. And then I was like in a harness, ran down, jumped on this guy, bit his neck, and then like I remember like shoving him back in the floor and being like, wow, I'm a vampire now. So yeah, I think it was my first day. I'll never forget my first day.
What a first day. Just a savage attack right away, right out the gate.
Yeah.
The show deals a lot with the fallibility of memories. So I guess this is a question for everyone, executive producers included. How do unreliable memories impact your sense of self, especially if you've been around for as long as Armand and Lestat have?
Me?
Yeah.
It was in the book. It was in the book. The book, Louis had very, very specific, particular, minute memories of things. He got them down like science. And then there were sections of books where he would go, I can't go there, I can't go there. And that was a real opportunity to kind of play in there. And I think all you're doing is trying to replicate. All these vampires are these sort of like extreme versions of us. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure if you were to sit across from somebody that you went to prom with, you might have experienced those things wildly different, and you're just trying to like figure out what that would be for a vampire when you tack on 200 more years, and the idea that they're doing something fairly violent every night. Like, what is that chaos, and could you remember, and what would you try to push down and move to the side and all that? So
yeah, it's almost like holding on to your sense of self when it gets further and further away from you.
Well, or cultivate, or shape or mold the thing the idealized version of yourself, because you don't want to live with yourself.
How great it would be not to have a memory. You wouldn't have any regret, any embarrassment, wouldn't miss anybody.
Would you know how to get out of a room? Like, you need a memory for something.
Why would you?
What are these shoes?
But guilt comes all from the memory.
Yeah.
And Rolin's absolutely right. This is memory, and the sense of memory of these characters, these vampires, is ours. It's not specific to them. It belongs to us as well.
There's some things that it works for plot, and that's the twists and turns. Sure, that's all that. But we're not super interested in that. It's more just like this unlayering of who you are, mm-hmm. And how did I get here, and can I pivot? So I think probably not going to be doing as much of that going forward.
Yeah.
But I think that is part of existence and accumulating days and shit. So.
Well, thanks. Last question, Sam. We know Lestat loves attention. What are the dangers of that in a world where the Talamasca and in a world with more surveillance are present?
Like Talamasca surveillance? Like, what is the danger of Lestat's obsession with attention in a world of the Talamasca's attention? I don't think Lestat gives too much concern to the activities of the Talamasca, to be honest. I think he's actually very into the Talamasca, and some people who might... Look, I know nothing about the Talamasca, apart from what I've read in the books. Mm-hmm. And, he loves their sort of antiquity and their kind of obsession with dusty books and libraries. And, as in terms of attention, like, bring it on. The more attention, the better.
It's a bigger problem for the Talamasca than the Talamasca is.
Yeah, that's the better way of saying it.
All right, so they should be worried, pretty much. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. I had a bloody good time talking to you all today. Interview with the Vampire is now streaming on AMC+. Stick around for even more Comic-Con right here on IGN.